Computer. All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to our Facebook Live that we have for our Zoom classroom today. I'm so super excited to share with you a lovely lady that I found. This is Nikki, and she is going to teach us about Norwax. I've wanted to learn about Norwax for a long time, and frankly, I've just had a few things going on. Anyway, and now with everything going on, I just had one of my lovely patients. We had gotten a conversation about Norwax, and I was like, okay, I feel like the universe is telling me that we need to get some more information. And so I reached out to Nikki, and I was like, well, why would I just talk to Nikki just one-on-one when we can actually make it a classroom and other people can learn from this lovely lady about Norwax, what it's good for, how do we know it works, how can it benefit your families? Because as you guys know, we're about decreasing chemicals in our household and living the more holistic life. And Nikki and I, before we got on, were sharing that COVID is teaching us that we need to really take better care of ourselves, to detox our lives, declutter our lives. And I think Norwax has a great place for us to do so. So without further ado, I'm super excited to introduce Nikki.
Hey guys, thank you so much, Dr. Anna Maria. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to be here with you. I have been with Norwax for almost 4 years, but Norwax has been around for 26 years. We're celebrating our 26th birthday this month. Started in Norway, which is where the name comes from, Norwegian experience. And we started with about 15 products, and I'm going to show you 5 of those today, 5 of the flagship products. And these 5 products are going to help you eliminate 90% of all of the other things that you need in your home for cleaning purposes. So imagine where you're storing your cleaners, where you have all of the things that you clean your home, and imagine getting all that together, and we're going to replace that with 5 things. So super exciting. You're even going to be able to introduce your kids into cleaning and not worry about what they're touching and what they're doing, which gives them a sense of ownership and you the ability to teach them. So super, super excited about that. So let me tell you a little bit about me. I am a mom of a 22-year-old and a 21-year-old. My 22-year-old recently graduated, is getting married in October, and my 21-year-old is at Gardner-Webb University, so close to you guys in the Charlotte area. And I can honestly say that these products have changed our lives for the better. And so what I would like to do is give you a little bit of why Norwax. I'm going to give you a little bit of what might be startling statistics and data. And then we're going to talk about how Norwax is a solution to the problems that you have in your home, and that it really does do what it says it's going to do. So Norwax's mission is to improve quality of life by radically reducing the chemicals in our homes. And it sounds like that's what this group is about and what we want to do. So if you can save time, save money in the long run, and have a cleaner way to, a healthier way to clean, then that's a win-win. And the bonus is your family is safer, you're creating a safe haven for your pets, for your family, for your friends, and you're also leaving the environment in a better place, which in turn helps bless us because it gives us less toxins when it's given back to us. So without further ado, let's watch a Why Norwax.
Do you need me to share can you share the screen?
It says host has disabled attendee screen sharing.
Hold on, I did. Let us not do that. Make host. Okay, that should be, you should have, can do it now. Sweet.
All right, so this is a quick 1.5 minute video on why Norwax.
Manufactured chemicals are choking our planet. More than ever, these chemicals are making their way into our air, our water, our homes, and even our bodies. Ironically, we bring many of these chemicals into our homes ourselves through our cleaning products. And once they get inside us, they can accumulate and lead to health problems like asthma, reproductive issues, and even cancer. Fortunately, Norwax consultants are on a mission to create healthier homes and a healthier planet by redefining clean. With products such as our Safe Haven 5 set and using only water, we're radically reducing harmful chemicals and the waste we produce. And as homes become healthier, we're improving the world around us, one safe haven at a time. Start protecting your home and living a happier, healthier life today.
So what do you think about that? Kind of some startling statistics, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So they say that we have introduced over 86,000 chemicals into the environment in the last 50 years, and we've tested less than 200 of those for their impact on human health. So if we can do the same jobs with fewer chemicals in our home, that will be a win-win for us. So I'll stop the screen share so you don't see all the background for a minute. There are 3 ways to clean. We can clean with heat. We can clean with a chemical, where we lay a chemical down and we allow it to do its job. But that chemical only works if we follow the directions on the packaging. And for many of us, myself included, I never read the directions on cleaning products. I was just taught culturally how to clean. You had to be able to smell it. It needed to run you out of the bathroom with all of the fumes for it to be good and clean, and I just used the product. I didn't read. So the third way to clean is mechanically, where you physically pick up and remove whatever is on your surface, and that is what Norwax is all about. So I want to tell you that Norwax's microfiber has 3 differences than what you can buy in the retail store. So if you pick up a regular piece of microfiber and you pick up Norwax's microfiber, you're immediately going to be able to tell the difference between these products. The Norwax microfiber, in order to be microfiber, the industry says it needs to be 1/6 the size of a human hair. So imagine pulling out one of your hairs and splitting it 6 ways. And that's what microfiber is, how big it is. Well, Norwax takes that same hair and splits it 200 ways. So you have an incredibly fine fiber that you're making these cloths with. This is our Enviro cloth. And all of our cloths are going to have labels on them that are going to tell you exactly what they are, so that you have your little cheat sheet. This is Enviro for everywhere. And if we took one corner of this and Dr. Anna Maria took the other end and we walked until we unraveled this whole bad boy, we would have to walk from the Gulf of Mexico to the Canadian border, because there's 1,800 miles of fiber in this one cloth. Okay, so we've got a super fine fiber, an incredible density. And the third thing that makes this different is it has microsilver as part of the fiber. So it's not a coating on top, it's actually part of the fiber. And microsilver is an unhealthy environment for things to reproduce and grow. So this acts as a self-purifying agent for the cloth itself, which lets you go longer between launderings. So we're not killing anything on the surface, we're simply picking it up and removing it. Okay, so this next video that I show you is going to give you a visual for how that works.
A great way to demonstrate how mechanical cleaning and chemical cleaning work is using a couple of key tools, starting with GlowGerm, which is actually a product that simulates bacteria, also a blacklight, and then a disinfecting wipe, and of course our Norwax Enviro cloth. So these disinfecting wipes work well when the directions for using them are followed. And if you look at the back of a container, you'll see, depending on if you're wanting to sanitize or disinfect, you need to wipe the surface. You need to leave it on the surface from 15 seconds up to 4 minutes. You need to wipe the surface when you're done with potable water if it's a food contact surface where your food may be coming in contact with it. And when they're used correctly, they're able to do their job of disinfecting or sanitizing the surface. So first, we're going to sprinkle a little bit of the GlowGerm on our surface. Turn off the lights so you can see it much better. And then I'm going to just kind of rub this around as you might rub your wipe on a surface to clean it. And you can see that I'm laying down, of course, the chemical that's in the wipe to do its job, but you also see that the glow germ, which is simulating bacteria, is also moving around with it. So if you look at that compared to how our Norwax EnviroCloth works, which is mechanically picking up what's on the surface, as I'm doing here with our Norwax cloth, it is picking up everything off of that surface and cleaning up 99% of that bacteria from the surface when it's used properly. Now, if I go back, as I might in my kitchen, and keep using that wet wipe on my surfaces, you can see that I'm putting down the chemical, but I'm also putting down the bacteria throughout here too. I'm coming back with my Norwax EnviroCloth. I am just picking it up just like that and picking it up physically. So those are the two key ways to clean, and the Norwax EnviroCloth picking up 99% of it using mechanical cleaning.
Wasn't that snazzy?
Yes, and kind of eye-opening, because when I used disinfecting wipes, I would go from doorknob to doorknob, like switch to like switch, place to place, just touching it place to place to place, and it never left it on there for 4 minutes to let it do its job. Much less if you're like in a classroom and you're going desk to desk, or in the cafeteria. You know, all of these places where food is going to come in contact now needs to be rinsed off because there's a chemical residue left behind.
Yeah.
So you're talking about an incredible amount of time, plus if you're not using it properly, a waste of money. So the Norwax EnviroCloth is just picking up and removing it. So I don't need to worry about a time frame of leaving it on there. I just pick it up and get rid of it. So that is our EnviroCloth. What I would like to do for you is a couple of demos. I want to do a butter demo just so that you could see in your home how that might work. And then I want to do a raw chicken demo for you, okay? So the first one we're going to do, take it for a little ride over to the mirror. First one we're going to do is a butter demo. I don't know about you, but kids and pets and toothpaste splatter can seem to make our mirrors and doors and windows a hot mess. So whether you have nose art from your animals or whether you have fingerprints from your little ones, imagine this butter.
I happen to have plenty of it in my car. Like the nose print from the dog, I have a really great demo that I could do in my car. That's awesome.
So can you see, can you see the butter on the mirror there? Okay. So I'm going to take my EnviroCloth. This is just wet with water. And I want you to know that when we're using mechanical cleaning, you need to make sure that you have good contact with your surface. So don't take your cloth and wad it up. You want to fold it, and I fold it in half and in half again. That gives me 8 cleaning surfaces. So you're just going to take this and you're just going to wipe right off of there. And we're going to come right behind it with our window cloth. Again, labeled for you so that you know what you're working with. Same microfiber, just a different weave, and this is for polishing. So if you've got windows, mirrors, stainless steel appliances, granite countertops, anything you want streak-free and shiny, this is what you follow behind with. And you just simply wipe, and it's all gone just like that. Do the same thing in your car windshield. It is amazing how quickly it works. So no more need for any glass cleaner or paper towels. So they say, go ahead, ask your question.
Do you have to wet the window one? So you said wet the general one. The general one is wet, and then the window one is dry. Okay.
Exactly. So I think of these like Thelma and Louise or peanut butter and jelly or Bert and Ernie, that they go together. I have one, my Enviro wet, and the other one dry. This is my workhorse, and this is my polishing one that gets all the credit for it being streak-free and shiny. Okay. All right. So the next thing, I'm going to rub you down here so you can see my cutting board. This is our famous raw chicken demo. And so I have some nice, nasty raw chicken here. And I am going to rub this on my cutting board. We had chicken for dinner last night, so this has been sitting around getting gross and slimy. And I have a protein tester. So these are food grade protein testers. They test for the presence of protein. Green is clean and purple is the presence of protein. So protein are your building blocks for bigger things. And I have a graphic I can leave with you guys so that y'all can kind of see size difference. But if I can pick up something as tiny as protein, then I would be able to pick up bigger things like E. coli, bacteria, etc. All of those bigger things that build on the protein building blocks. So we're going to rub our cutting board down here. I'll put this back in here, pop the liquid from the top. And you can see that it's starting to run down that scale. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take my Enviro cloth, the same Enviro cloth I cleaned with the butter. Just going to flip it over, and I'm going to clean off my cutting board. I'll leave it face side up so that you can see. And I'm going to get another protein tester, and we're going to test the cutting board. The whole thing, since we wiped the whole thing, make sure we didn't move it around. See the difference between them?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty amazing. So we're going to take this and I'm going to test the cloth. And unless I pick up a piece of chicken on my cloth, we're going to stay green. And had I, just so that you know this is a normal tester, I'm going to touch my piece of raw chicken in here. And you see how it immediately turns purple?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty fascinating. This is what got me. This is what sold me on Norwax. When I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm all in here.
Yeah.
Tell me more. Tell me more. So you've got to remember that Norwax is picking up and removing 99% of bacteria and the grease and grime and things in its place. So it's different than a chemical clean where we lay a chemical and let it do its work. We're simply picking it up. All right.
How is the protein not on the cloth? So when you swipe the thing, how come you can't pick it off the cloth?
Okay, so the fiber in the cloth, think of it like a little hand. It's actually a star shape and they're kind of rounded. So as you're wiping, it's picking up and pulling it into the cloth and trapping it. So it's holding on to all of that. When we use our cloths, when we're done with them, we're going to rinse it out with hot water. Hot water makes the fiber swell. So think of it as making the hands open up and it drops all of that junk that it has picked up. So that's why I can go from place to place cleaning and not worry about, is it going to still pick things up? Because you can tell, you can just feel that difference. You can feel the difference that it's picking things up. But the rinsing it with hot water lets the fiber swell up. You rub it against itself. The friction helps release all of that. And then you wring it out and hang it up by its tag. This is the key part. That hanging and letting it dry is when it lets the microsilver go to work. When it's going from wet to dry, helping to give you longer between launderings. So it is just self-purifying that cloth so that you don't get that yucky smell that when you've been in a restaurant and somebody's mopped with a bad mop or wiped your table down with a sour cloth. It's just gonna let you go longer between your launderings. So I'll clean my entire bathroom with my Enviro cloth, rinsing it out periodically as I'm doing a bathroom. And I start with my mirrors. I do my counters, my sinks, my cabinets, my shower, my tub, and then I do the outside of the toilet, not the inside. I use a toilet brush for the inside, rinse it out, and I go and do my next bathroom. But after I've done all 3 of my bathrooms, I'm going to launder my cloth. If I'm doing just your normal other cleaning and I'm not cleaned my bathrooms, it might be a week before I launder my cloth. But I'm always rinsing it out after each use to let it dry and let that silver go to work.
Now I got to tell you, that's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You go through the toilet and then you go to the next bathroom and you start from the top.
Yes.
How do you know that the toilet stuff is not going on your bathroom? Because I know that's what everybody is thinking.
I know, it's crazy. Well, you saw me testing for it. So you can actually get butter and you can put things places so that you can see, am I picking this up and moving it along? It becomes a comfort level. And I tell people, you have to start with where you're comfortable. For my mom, who's a retired microbiologist, she has a dedicated toilet cloth. That's what she's comfortable with. So I think that anytime we can make a small move in a positive direction, that's wonderful. So if you're one of those that gives you the heebie-jeebies, then my recommendation would be have a toilet cloth and have your other cloth for cleaning the rest of your home. I think after you start using it, you reach a point where you're like, holy cow, this is just blowing my mind. and that leaves you, you know. I have a cat, and I have a cat that returns to Cinder on a regular basis. And so we have a dedicated cat cloth where we're cleaning all of that up. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. You want to do what's most comfortable with you.
Right. Well, and even if you just do that, that's still reducing the amount of paper towels and the amount of all the stuff. So even if you just got one extra cloth for the toilets versus everything else, then that still keeps it.
Yes. Yes.
And tell me about the shower. So what about mold in the showers? Because, you know, between the tiles and the moldy, the grimy soap residue that's on the glass things, how does that work for that?
Yes. So let me get to that. Let me get one thing in between there. So we talked about 2 of the Safe Haven 5s, the Enviro and the window. The next thing I want to mention to you is our dusting mitt. So dusting is super important, especially if you've got anybody with allergies. Dust is made up primarily of dead skin cells that hold on to all of the pollutants and the things that we bring in on our feet and that are in the environment. So we really want to dust. And this Norwax dusting mitt, speaking from experience, I hate dusting. This Norwax dusting mitt, same microfiber, really tall pile, is picking up and removing that. So when you spray a spray to dust, its job is to attract dust. So when you wipe, there's a residue left on your surface. That residue continues to do its job, attract dust. Whereas the Norwax dusting mitt, it picks it up and you can take it out of your home, beat it off, take it over your garbage can, beat it out. So that's no longer settling back in your home. So dusting mitt, third piece of that Safe Haven 5. Then you ask, what about those extra things? So cleaning paste, that's where this comes into play. So the 3 main ingredients in our cleaning paste are ground marble flour, coconut oil, and traces of natural soap. There are other ingredients listed in there. I'm going to show you a no list of all the things Norwax will not put in products, but those are your 3 main things. When you get your Safe Haven 5, guys, this is going to be dried. It is not going to be a paste. So you're going to want to take your Enviro cloth and rub it through it. So there's not much left in here. You can't see it. I've had this for 4 years, but I'm going to take this Sperry sponge and a tile with Sharpie, okay? And this Sperry sponge is going to clean with that cleaning paste all of that Sharpie off. So this is your extra. If you need something in your shower for soap scum, if you need something for getting marks off of walls, if you have a budding artist who is drawn on your floors, this is what you want, is cleaning paste. There's so many uses. Be able to share a lot more about what it can do, but cleaning paste, that's what you can use. The last thing in Safe Haven 5 is our laundry detergent, and it is free of all of the no-no items. There are no fragrances. It's great for babies. It's phenomenal for anybody with allergies or with eczema. So love the laundry detergent. I know my time's coming to a close, so we'll have to find another time for us all to get together and share more. But I do want to show you this no-no list just so that you can see it. So this list shows all of the things that Norwax will not allow in our personal care products or in our household products. So I love that the company is incredibly concerned about the raw materials that they're using, making sure that we're free of all parabens and the phthalates and the SLS. That's super, super important. So, you know, they say that the cord blood of a newborn baby has 200 chemicals found in it. And that by the time we grow to adulthood, that number can become close to 700, and that's body burden. So if we can take some of these things out, that'll be a great, great thing. What questions do you have for me?
That's awesome. No, that's fantastic. I totally agree. I quote the numbers all the time, and I do agree with all the chemicals. And I think it also gets expensive because everyone's like, oh, well, you buy this chemical and that one. And, you know, we were taught by marketing that you could only use a bathroom spray in the bathroom and a kitchen spray in the kitchen and your floor spray on the, you know, and it's very segregated. So you end up with a whole cabinet of stuff. And in pediatrics, it doesn't matter how, you know, holistic we want to get with the chemicals, the children drinking, you know, a bottle of essential oils is still not good. It's still going to be a problem. So I do like having the cloths because, well, the kids are not going to eat them. Well,
Yes.
might try, but generally
So they
speaking,
can pee on them and teeth on them, and it'll be okay.
right. I mean, you wipe your face with them, but it's not, that reduces the amount of exposure that the children put their hands on and, you know, ingest and do other things. And these are easy to have in your car. I mean, the fact that you said about the noses, I'm like, literally, we're going to need to get those wipes immediately because I have, you know, it's like, oh, let me get the spray to get on my car with my paper towel. And then my car looks like complete dung for like weeks to months before it gets better. But you have these like nicely tucked in your bag. Boom, you're good.
Right.
Yeah. You go to the restaurant.
Especially right now when you're going out using this to wipe down door handles and the buggies and your table, anything you touch, even your groceries coming into your home.
Because
So,
when
yeah.
I go to the restaurants, and now when you put your hands on the table, there's like this sticky residue because whatever they're washing, because they're paranoid about everything. So that would be so awesome to be able to wipe my table and actually know that I'm not putting my hands on that and then I'm going to eat it. Because
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
we don't spray our counters with bleach, so we don't eat it. I don't really want the restaurant to do the same thing. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. What I think we would do is I'm gonna see what questions come up, and then we discuss that we were gonna do one that's gonna be on a broader scale for everyone, and do that in August, and then we'll see what questions come in. And I'm so appreciative of everything that you shared. This is mind blowing. I love it. I'm obsessed. Totally getting some, and that's gonna be even great. Even in the clinic for in between patients, that will make a big difference. Do you have a way to test for viral particles? Because I know that question probably has come up.
You know, so there is a lot of governing around that. And most of the federal regulations, actually all the federal regulations, I have it pulled up on my phone, it has to be in the same class as a pesticide to say that it kills a virus. And they're not gonna, right now, they're not gonna let you make any claims anywhere. And Norwax is all about integrity and honesty. So we will not say anything that we're not.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, that's fair enough. It's just not enough data.
And I think that's why that mechanical versus chemical is so important, the visual, just to see. If we're not following the directions, then we may not be doing what we think we're doing. But why worry when I can just physically pick up and remove? So, yeah.
I love it. No, this is awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I so appreciate you coming on here. I've learned tons, and I'm going to be putting my order in because, as I said, I think I need a few goodies. Yeah.
And I'm going to give you a link tree, which will have all kinds of links. People can watch videos and learn a little bit more and reach out to me and ask questions.
Awesome. That is wonderful. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to stop recording.